So I wanted to talk a little bit with you guys about kind of what we had talked about a little bit last week. And Andrea, I know you weren't able to be on the call, but just kind of the customer piece and a little bit of the coaching sneak peek. But before I got into those, I wanted to see how this week was going. Like if you had things that are coming up that would be helpful just to kind of brainstorm through together since we're all on the call. If there's anything. Are you guys feeling like pretty good with posting ideas, or are you kind of drawing blanks there or things like that?
Kind of drawing blanks. I'm not very good at the posting, but I never liked posting, so it's definitely my weak spot.
I was super nervous. I would only post like once a month and it'd be a picture of my kid. And so
exactly, that's where I'm at.
Yeah. I will say that was probably, other than inviting, posting was definitely hard. And I think that as you've done it, like the longer you do it, it gets easier because you can figure out like who you are and what you post about. So yeah. I told this, I think Melanie, I messaged this to you the other day, but like I'll always do a workout post, usually in the middle of the day because not as many people are on at that time. Like lunchtime, I'll do like a quote or like a random picture of like when I'm at work, if I have my lunch all packed, like what that looks like, or just like something funny. And then at night, I'll tend to do either like a more of like an invite kind of post, like here's about my next challenge group or coaching, or something that's a little bit more, not intense, but something that I want people to see a little bit more. So I would say if you're struggling with posting, if you can narrow down like 3 or 4 things that you like to post about, and just do that consistently. It doesn't mean, and not all of them should be related to Beachbody by any means. So some of them, if you like cooking, it could be about that. Or if you like to post like funny cat videos, do that. Or, you know, pictures of your kid. Like, so it's mixed up that people start to expect things. And then it gives you just like an easier mindset. And I literally have, I don't know if you guys can even see this, on my phone, on my note section, like I'll hold it up here. I don't even know if you guys can see that. Well, you probably can't. But in my note section, I literally have posts that are written out and just saved there. Or if I see like another coach, like I'll follow some diamonds or star diamonds that are just a couple ranks above me. And there's a couple girls, and maybe I'll post them in our team page, like some of the people that I follow, but just like kill it with posts. And I won't copy their stuff word for word, but I'm like, oh, that's such a good idea. So then I'll just copy and paste it into my notes section. And so on the mornings where I'm like super tired of drawing a blank or just I'm really lacking creativity, I can go back in there and be like, oh, that was really good. Or if I read something. So kind of just saving it for a rainy day. And that really helps because not everything post needs to be like this epic thing. But it can help like if you kind of mix it up. So, and I will say to you guys, do you remember last week when I was saying that this month was super hard for me and I was like at 0? I'm at Success Club 9 now. And I don't say that to be like, hey, look at me, but it really can happen. And the last 2 girls that have got stuff this week from me have never liked a post of mine. One of them is actually a girl that I invited back in August, who was like, no, thanks, I'm doing Weight Watchers. And I was like, okay, that's fine. I hope that works well for you. And she messaged me this week and was like, it's not working. And I keep seeing you post about groups. And like, I just want accountability. Like I need people to be like, they're checking in with me. And that sounds really cool. Can you tell me more? So I think that consistency, even though she's never liked anything, I had no idea she was still watching what I was doing. So for you guys, just even if it feels like no one's saying anything and it's just crickets, as you just are consistent with that and people are watching. And so like, Andrea, you did like that really cute thing of Ellie on the beach with Shakeology the other day. So it's like, oh, what's that? And then they'll kind of start watching. And so you don't need to do a Shakeology post every day. But as you start talking a little bit more about like why you like to drink it or things like that will help. Or if you start talking about your challenge groups, like I did a post the other day of like, it was such a struggle to get up and work out this morning. Or I was like holding Caleb on our bed, but I was like, but just knowing there's other moms that I get to check in with tomorrow morning really helps motivate me. So that's not like a come join my challenge group ad. It's more me like throwing in, these are things I'm really loving about my groups and that's motivational. Does that help a little bit?
Yeah.
I'm going to get water because my voice is gone. So just a second. I caught Caleb's cold, I think. So Are there things that would be helpful that would be more specific about posting that you guys want to brainstorm, or for like Andrea or Melanie or any of you guys have had stuff that you feel like has worked really well for you?
Mommy, Daddy got a dog for you.
I like, it seems like every time I post like a video that, I don't know, people look at it. I don't know if it does anything.
You can see all the views. That one of you and Tyler dancing or doing Turbo Fire was hysterical.
I'm like, why are you wearing those short shorts? And he's like, this is what I work out in.
Ben saw it and he was like, is he wearing underwear? It's like,
I'm like, okay, if you want to be filmed in that, whatever.
no, that's awesome. It's such a good one. Or like Ashley with Hammer and Chisel, because people don't really know what it is yet as much because it's newer. I've done a couple of videos. Like I did a video this morning that I posted of like, this move was like killer. And then it just gives people a little sneak peek of even like, what the heck, when you're talking about this workout, what does that even look like? So with Andrea, like Turbo Fire, it's like, oh, that looks fun. I get to dance in my living room. Like that looks so. Yeah, I think that's a good call. Yourself, and think about like when you think of Andrea or Melanie or Ashley, like who are you and what do you want people to see? And then as you're even thinking, like we talked a little bit about last week, like who you're trying to attract, just put those blinders on and don't feel like you're going to miss out on people because you're not posting to like every single person on your friends list. Because you may have like your aunt on your friends list or your ex-boyfriend's sister or your cousin who's 15. Like those people you are probably not trying to attract. So just really think of like, okay, do I want moms? Do I want girls who like Pinterest? Okay, if I like crafty girls, I'll probably post about some of my DIY projects. Or if I like girls who like to cook and are trying to figure out clean eating, like I'll post a recipe every week of like Recipe Wednesday or something like that. So then it's in your mind of just something that you know, okay, every Wednesday night I will post a recipe. It doesn't mean it has to be something that you've made that day. It could be something you made that weekend and took a picture of and then just saved to post on Wednesday or something like that. So just kind of be thinking about like, okay, who are you trying to attract? And this is something that honestly, I'm just starting to get the hang of. So it takes a while of just trial and error. But as you are consistent, you'll start to see that and even start to get the niche of like, okay, this is the flow of what I'm doing. But it's really hard for the first couple months for sure. So you guys are doing great. Are there other things that are coming up that would be helpful to know more about? No, you guys are okay. How are your challenge groups going? I guess it's just you, Andrea, who's running one right now, right?
Yeah, it's going good. At first it was hard because people weren't really like writing stuff in it, and I'm like, is anybody gonna participate in this?
Yeah.
But now there's a couple people who are doing like writing stuff, and that's encouraging. And then
that's good. No, I've never done it before, but I know there's some scripts, I think in the script swap group I added you to, where some coaches have done like prizes. I think you've actually done prizes before, haven't you?
Yeah, I did for the last one, and then I just didn't really have anything to do for a prize.
Totally. But that's why I've never done them before, because I'm like, I can just do it. Some groups are like that and just crickets, and other groups are like super fun and engaging, and it just kind of depends. So
yeah,
sometimes I will, like when I invite someone to a challenge group, if they're like, oh yeah, I'm really interested, I will always tell them like, hey, if you have a friend who wants to do it with you, one, because then it's like a referral for me, but then it's like if they have a friend to do it in the group too, that can help kind of get that engagement going and just that support. So I'll usually always throw that in there.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, because I think it helps them feel more comfortable. And sometimes people are like, oh yeah, but she doesn't have any money to buy something. Like, okay, that's okay. Just have her add me as her coach. Like, have her make the free profile. And if you're going to share your workouts or whatever, that's okay. But that can be something that's helpful. Oh, thank you so much. Getting tea. Sorry if my voice sounds horrible. I've also done in the past for like past challengers, I send an email out once a month, which you guys have probably gotten from me, to everyone on my customer list. And I'll always update them like, here's my next challenge group. Here are the sales that are going on for the month. Sometimes if I feel like I'm a little bit behind, I'll throw in like, hey, if you refer if you refer someone, I'll enter you for a drawing to win a free Fixate cookbook. That one usually gets people because it costs you only like $12 to buy, but people love the cookbook. So I've done that before, of just kind of keeping past challengers engaged that way. And sometimes a lot of my challenge groups, I'll have like 1 or 2 new people, and then people who just like to keep doing challenge groups. It's like, sure, you can just, you'll probably recognize the script because I'm going to use it again. But so for like, oh, go ahead.
Oh, do you usually do just 30 days or do you do 60 days?
I usually do a 30-day group that turns into a 60-day group. So I don't tell them it's a 60-day group. And so usually it's a week of like the plan and prep week. So that's 7 days, and then the 21 days, because most people do 21-day fix. So it's kind of a 30-day group that way. And then at the end of the 30 days, I'll put out a post that's something like, how are you guys feeling? Like if you're up for round 2, we will be here on Monday. And most of the time people are like, yeah, sign me up. Like I'm in, because they're starting to see results at that point and like that accountability. So then it turns into a 60-day group. So I'll just keep posting. So most of the scripts you see are for like 40 or 60 days. But I think I found that if I advertise it to be 60 days or 90 days, that just sounds really intimidating to people. That just sounds like such a long time commitment. And especially if they've just like started eating healthy or starting to get on fitness, that's just like, oh my gosh, that's so much time. So breaking it up into weeks sounds easier for them.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that helps. Ashley, you had a couple people that you were just going to like email because they aren't on Facebook.
Yeah.
How's that?
I do. Oh, it's okay. They haven't purchased yet, though, is the problem. But if they purchase, I said I'd work one-on-one. One of my friends came over yesterday and like wanted to look at all my stuff, and she looked at it. She wants to order. So.
Cool. Yeah, and I've known people who've just like copied the script for the day and just sent out an email, which is like, I guess, a little bit more work for you, but kind of nice to do. So.
Right.
Melanie, are you feeling pretty good with posting ideas and stuff? How's your life page going?
Not really. I saw this one post, I don't remember where, it was a while ago, about kind of like creating a calendar type thing. I don't know if you did it. I don't know who did it, but like kind of creating a calendar of like kind of your posts. So you kind of have like something that's kind of set to go off of.
Yeah.
So I was trying to think, and then like I just started a new job this week, which is already killing me, like day 2. But so I'm trying to kind of get a schedule down because like I don't want to post everything within like 3-hour time frame at night when I do that. So I'm just trying to kind of get ideas, and like when I get them, like make sure I write them down or something so I can come back later.
So here's one thing that might be helpful for you guys. I think you're right of not posting all at the same window, but it's hard if you're working and just can't be posting all day. So I'll usually either have it typed out, so it just literally takes me 30 seconds to copy and paste in. There is something, have you guys heard of Hootsuite before, or Sendable? Either of those? Okay, so I've just started using it in my challenge groups, and you can add up to 3 profiles. So you can do you can do it on Facebook, you can do it on Twitter, you can do it on Instagram. I only use Facebook. And then if you're in Facebook, you can add 3 different profiles within it. So you can do, I'll just do 3 groups, but you could have it be like your personal page. But basically how it works is if you want more than that, you have to pay, and I don't want to pay. But for free, you can link it to your Facebook, and then you can type in and copy and paste your post and your pictures, and then just schedule it. And so it will post whenever you tell it to post on your page, which is pretty cool. So for my challenge groups, because I'll have multiple ones going, and I have a couple friends on the East Coast who are up way earlier. So I was realizing if I post at 8 o'clock in the morning, well, it's 11 o'clock their time, and that's not helpful. So the night before, I'll go in and I'll copy and paste all my posts in there and just set them to post at 5 a.m. And everyone's probably like, man, Abby's up so early. Not actually up that early. But that's just kind of nice. Or if you have a super busy day and don't want to have to worry about it, or a weekend or something like that, you can just pre-schedule it. So that might be something. I haven't done it on my Facebook timeline ever, but I know you can. If you're using it in a challenge group, the only thing that it doesn't do is it doesn't pin the post to the top. So you actually have to go in manually. And if you want it to be like the first post that shows up all the time, you have to go in and do that. But otherwise it will just post it just on your timeline, which is kind of cool. So that might be something like Melanie for you that's helpful, where if you have a couple ideas, you can just like schedule them out and be like, I want this inspirational Pinterest picture to post at lunchtime, and call that good.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I just, my like days are so awkward because of like when Jacob's home and when he's with his dad, and when now I'm working, which is great. And then like the weekends, like a lot of people relax and that's great. That's when Jacob's home and that's my time to spend with him. So it's like, I want to relax and do stuff, but I can't be on the computer a lot because he's like attacking me then. And so I have an hour lunch break, which is great because I can do some posts and I will be able to like answer people if I have any interest or stuff. And then again, when I get home, but yeah, it's just figuring it all out.
I'll post the link. I've used Hootsuite. That's been the one I've done, but I know there's a couple. So I'll post the link to that I'll just copy it in the team page if you want to go in there and check it out. Okay. And then I'll also post some of the coaches that I follow, because there's a couple ones that just do some fun posts and are kind of because I think we're all about the same demographic here, who kind of fit in that mold. So I'll do that for you guys. One of the things that I was kind of thinking about was actually, Melanie, you brought it up a little bit, was the calendar. So I've posted that in our page before, just some sample ones, but I'm actually going to sit down this next week and do my calendar for March. So you guys can either just run off of what I have and join anything that I'm doing, or you can do your own, or you can just copy mine and that's fine. But I'll sit down and actually, because it's coming to the end of February, I will start thinking about, okay, what do I want March to look like? One of the things that in admissions, because that's where I work and it's a sales job, even though it's a college recruiting, that we talk about a lot is being proactive versus reactive. Because reacting to everything just takes so much time and energy and you never know what's going to come. But if you're proactive and kind of strategize how you want it to be, you have control over that a little bit more. And there's always going to be random things that pop up. But so that's what I've tried to do, where I know, okay, the first Monday of every month, I will start preseason for a challenge group. And I'm going to start doing like coaching sneak peeks, like the third weekend, and maybe I'll do a free group there in the middle. So going into March, I'll already know exactly what I'm inviting for. I'll know exactly how I want my posts for the month to flow. So like this week, I've really been focusing a little bit more on the coaching aspect of things, because I'm not recruiting for a challenge group right now. But as soon as basically next week hits, I'm going to flip the switch again, and it's going to be all about challenge groups until probably mid-March, and then it'll be a little bit more towards coaching. So I kind of have different things I'm focusing on, even if I'm not blatantly saying that. My posts will highlight different things. So I'm going to sit down and do that probably next Monday or Tuesday night, but I'll make sure to share it in the team page, and then you guys can just like run with that or make your own or join or put people on anything that I do, if that's helpful. And then the coaching sneak peek, I think I scared you all, but does anyone have anyone they want to invite to that? And it's okay if you don't, but if you do you?
Yeah, I have somebody.
Andrea wins. Ashley and Melanie, I didn't think you guys would, because you guys are just getting started. But so what it's going to look like, and Ashley and Melanie, you're more than welcome to just jump in it if you want to see. But basically, it's a format that we've tried on the Dream Team the last couple times we've done it. We used to do like a 5-day long Facebook group where every day there'd be a new post, but people kind of seem to disengage. So instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do an hour or a 2-hour event, basically. And so for the first hour, like every 5 to 7 minutes, I'm going to post a different video about coaching. And so I have 1 or 2 that I can post that's me, but there's some other really cool ones from other Beachbody coaches that talk about like, what is coaching? How do you make money? Like, what is this whole thing about? So every couple minutes, there'll be a post about that. And then at the end of that time, I'll do just like a live, kind of like a live Zoom call. And so anyone who wants to can get on there and ask questions. And then my goal is that like, like Andrea, if you invited someone, then you could follow up with them at the end of that time and be like, hey, I know you got tons of information. What questions do you have on stuff? How are you feeling? And then kind of be able to go a little bit deeper with them. And then the goal is to move them to the next step. which would be to actually sign up as a coach. And the kind of the thing that you're using as a hook is the new coach training is going to be starting the very beginning of March, and I don't want you to miss out on that. So you're always inviting them to that next step, and it gives them kind of that like urgency a little bit of, oh, I just can't sit and think about this forever if I want to jump on it next month. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And Andrea, you do not have to do this at all. You don't. But if
No, I want to.
But if you wanted to do even like a video, like a 4-minute video of like, this is why I like coaching or how I make it work as a mom, and I'll tell you this for both Ashley and Melanie, it's totally a fake it till you make it thing. The first time I did a coaching sneak peek, I advertised for it on my Facebook page. I invited people. I did all the things you're supposed to do, and not one person showed up. Not one. So I was like, what the heck? I'm going to do it anyways. And so I recorded the YouTube video of myself, and it was actually even easier because I knew no one was actually watching me, and went through it. And then I talked about what a great sneak peek I had run the night before the next day. Like, it was so fun to share what I do as a coach, because it was like, I was not lying. It was just kind of putting a different spin on it. And I was like, and here's the link if anyone wants to watch it that wasn't able to make the call. Like, it's totally about how you phrase it. Or I'd say things like, my team is really growing this month, because I'd signed another discount coach and they weren't actually working, but they were a coach on my team. So it totally counted. I could talk about how that, so it's all about how you phrase things. So I think sometimes as you're just getting started, you maybe feel like you don't have the resume to share of like, oh, I'm not a multi-million-dollar earning coach, or I'm not a top coach, or I haven't seen a ton of success in this area yet. Well, people who are interested because of you are interested in you. Like, they're not interested in Melanie Mitro. They're not interested in me. Like, they're interested in Andrea because you attracted them for some reason and they like what they see. So they want to hear from you of like why you like it. So I think just know that like there's things that you can share, and it may not be like, oh, I just paid off all my student loans with this week of coaching income like other people. It may be, you know what, I love being a coach because it keeps me accountable in my own health and fitness. And I'm just totally making this up right now, Andrea, but like as a stay-at-home mom, it gives me something else to kind of focus on or feel like I'm having structure in my day because I'm doing a business on the side or whatever. So you can kind of spin things different ways and make it sound not cooler than it is, but just make it sound relatable to people, I guess. So don't be afraid to do that. But Andrea, yeah, we can talk later. If you wanted to make a video, you can, but you don't have to. So we can talk about that later. Do you guys have any questions on kind of like inviting people either to challenge groups or to coaching stuff that would be helpful to go over? No? Are you guys actually inviting?
I just invited like 25 people today. But
You can do spurts. I do all or nothing. I'll do like 20 people and then like take 3 days off and then do like 20.
Yeah. I don't know what I scared myself out of doing it for a little while.
Yeah.
And then like once I started doing it again, it was like, what was I so afraid of for a little bit?
I had
When
one
you
girl
invite that many people, do you write out like a little script and it's pretty much the same thing to everyone, just change like the beginning?
I just used the go for no thing, and then just at the beginning I just type in like, I like your kids' pictures and stuff, and like, how are you, and already 2 people have been like, oh yeah, that sounds great, just today. So yeah, use the go for no thing because it makes it like so easy,
doesn't it? It makes it feel less awkward.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then if I have people that like have liked like your video or whatever, or like if they've liked a workout one, sometimes I'll use a slightly different script and just be like, hey, thanks so much for liking that post, or whatever. Like, if you're ever interested in more, let me know, things like that. So it can be really scary, but I think, Andrea, you would agree that like once you do it, it just gets easier.
Yeah.
Like, I had a girl this week that had told me, and I think we've all had these friends. I think, Ashley, you even had a girl that was like, oh yeah, and then just never responded. And so finally I was like, I know you were interested in the 21-day fix. It's really only on sale for the end of the month. And she was like, oh, okay, great. Let me know more. And then didn't say anything. It's like this week again. And I was like, I'm going to annoy her, but she told me to ask her again. So I'm going to. And she was like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. I'm just so scattered. This was really helpful. And she ended up buying it. So I think that really the key a lot of times is in the follow-up, which I think we're afraid to do. So every time I send an invite, I will, if I haven't heard back from the person, I will wait like 2 or 3 days. I don't want to do it the next day and be obnoxious, but I'll wait 2 or 3 days and just be like, hey, I don't know if you got my message, but this group is actually filling up here pretty fast and I'd love to save you a spot. Let me know if you're interested, or if it's not now, just sometime in the future. And then I just let it go. And I will not follow up with them again because I don't want to be that like weird stalker friend that just annoys people. But there are lots of people who are like, oh, thank you. I just like got busy with my son and I forgot to respond or something like that. So a lot of times following up can kind of like catch people a little bit. So make sure you do that because that's, I think, a lot of things or something that a lot of people can miss because you send out the invite and then you're like, what next?
I had one girl that was like really interested and then she just started ignoring me. And then a week later she came back and talking to me again. And then all of a sudden she just disappeared again. So I don't know. We'll see.
I've had 2 different girls that I did not invite because I didn't think, one I didn't think could afford it because I knew her family just was in a really tight budget and I didn't want to put pressure on her. And the other one I just didn't think would be interested. And they have both messaged me within the last month. Just been like, thank you so much. Your posts were so inspirational. I actually just signed up to be a coach under someone else. And I just wanted to tell you that like you were the reason. It's like, oh no. Like, oh, I'm so glad I inspired you. Like, I genuinely am so happy about that. But internally, I'm like kicking myself for prejudging what they would say and being scared to invite them because apparently they are super into it. I'm like, oh, cool. So yeah, I still struggle with that a little bit because there's people that I'm like, I don't think they'd be interested or whatever, but I'm just learning, like, if they're within my general demographic, like I'm not going to invite my great aunt, but if they're within kind of that 20-something range of girls that I think I'd relate to, I will invite them and just figure like, if I'm nice about it and my whole page is not Beachbody spam, people aren't going to be annoyed with me. So like if my posts every day are not like, oh my gosh, Abby just posted another 21-day fix promo video or another Shakeology commercial, but I'm posting stuff of like my house and my son and my dinner. And then we'll throw in stuff about Beachbody, but even my workout posts are not Beachbody ads. It's like, here's some motivation for your day or whatever. Then I figure I'm not annoying people. And so far that hasn't happened. I've never had anyone be annoyed with me yet. Don't be afraid of that. One thing that I would challenge you guys to do, and if you don't have time, it's fine. But I said I would do it last week and I ran out of time, but I am going to do it this week. I'm going to actually sit down and write out that avatar thing that we talked about on the call last week. And so in our team files page, I linked like a template that you guys can use if you want to. But I'm actually going to sit out and write like, okay, this is, I don't know, or like Molly or whatever. Like this is the girl that I want to speak to. And so I'm going to write all of that out and it will just help me visualize like, okay, I want her to be 25 to 30. I want her to like kids and faith is important to her. And she really likes decorating her house, but she doesn't have time. And I don't know, she likes country music or just kind of those things. And just write it all out and actually pin it on my desk. So I just see it every day. And that way, when I'm posting things, I will be filtering everything through like, what is this person thinking? Because I'm not trying to attract everyone. So then it just kind of keeps my posts sharp because I know, okay, I'm trying to speak to who I was a year ago. And that was someone for me who I wasn't intimidated by working out, but I just needed the accountability. I really liked cooking, but I didn't think I had time to do it. I really want to stay home with my son, but I know for myself, like I need something else to do. So kind of phrasing everything in that mindset of like, okay, this is a girl who likes these things. So I would challenge you guys this week, if you can take down, and actually if you do sit down and write it out or do it on that template, if you want to copy and share that into our team page, I think it's super, super helpful because we can kind of learn from one another. Not that I'm just going to like rip off Ashley's thing, but kind of seeing like, okay, that was a really good point that Ashley made. I'm going to kind of incorporate that. Like, I like that idea. So if you guys do that, if you share it, I think we all benefit from that. Our free time is ending in 9 minutes and 47 seconds. So do you guys have any questions about that ideal customer thing? I think that's pretty specific, but are there things that would be helpful to go more into depth on that for you? No. I think especially for you guys like Melanie and Ashley with the posting thing, I think that this will help you guys a lot. And so it's a discipline that will just take a half hour to sit down and really kind of think through. But I think once you get that narrowed down, you're going to find that like, okay, I know exactly the type of posts that I need to do, whether that's
Right.
like motivational. Like Ashley, you've had a couple really amazing motivational things that you've shared in our team page or you've shared on your personal page. And so I know that's important to you. Like keep that up, like, cause that's a big part of your story and inspiring people. So it's like, great. So you keep doing that. And I know you like cooking and like hanging out with your son. So do those things. Don't worry about trying to like get the guy down the street to join you for 21 Day Fix. That's probably not going to happen. So.
Ashley, your posts are so good, and you have really nice abs. You have really
Oh,
nice
thanks.
abs. I was like,
You know,
what?
that killed me to post that too, because I don't know. I can't do the workout pictures. I try so hard, and I take them every day, and like 3 of them have showed up. I'm like, oh, it's killing me.
That's more than me. That's great.
If
I-
you guys,
Beach body thing.
you guys want to know a secret for workout pictures, and this is going to totally like, now you'll see a post that I do and you'll judge me. But I will unless it's a video, I will very rarely take a workout picture when I'm in the middle of the workout. I'll either before or after my workout, set up my camera and put it on self timer and then like run and like find the best angle and be like, okay, here's the move. Like take it and run back.
Exactly.
Yeah, you can judge me. I like will literally budget in, and this is so silly, but I'll budget in like 15 minutes extra in my mornings to do my morning workout post because I know I'll take like 10 pictures, then I'll have to like find the right font. And so now you know the secret behind them and you can judge me. But
They always look so good, though. Like, do you take them in the morning? I'm like, how does she look so good at like 5 in the morning?
I do take them in the morning. The garage light is somehow more flattering than in the house. But if you go back, if you want to laugh, if you go back and scroll through my Facebook timeline, I became a coach last May. So if you go back that far, my first posts were so bad. Not that mine are amazing now, but they were really, really bad. And my workout pictures were really, really awkward. But I was like, what the heck? Like, perfectionism, you will never move. Like, you just have to do it. And so I learned, like, that post looks super awkward. Like PiYo, which I love, it's like Pilates and yoga. You have to be really careful with those pictures because otherwise it just looks super weird because you're doing like these weird poses. So learning like how to do things. And so for me, that was like, I felt stupid, but like 4 months in being like, oh my gosh, I have a self timer on my phone. Why am I just like doing awkward, like arm reach selfies the whole time when I can set it up and like actually take a decent picture? So
Right.
yeah, trial and error.
I'm going to try to write out the script. Like Melanie was telling us on like Sunday to write out find your script for what you want to post. I need to start doing that until I get the hang of it.
Yeah, I don't even know if this would be helpful for you guys. So I will post in our team page tonight. I will do the coaches that I like to follow, just the ones that I like, and you guys don't have to follow them, but for ideas, I'll post that like post scheduler thing. And then I'll post some of the things that I have saved on my phone. And these are scripts that I actually didn't do. So they're ones that other coaches have done that I found really motivating, or just like good phrasing that I want to kind of twist a little bit and make my own. So I'll kind of copy some of those in so you guys can see some of the things that I just keep saved, because they're just some good phrasing ideas, if that would be helpful for you. And I would not be afraid to kind of go into March with a plan. And so, like I said, I'll post my calendar, but if I were you guys, I would kind of go into like, let's kill the rest of this month. Like, it's not over. We're halfway through. So really for you guys, be promoting challenge groups, because I'm going to start one next week. So you can throw people in that if you want, or even thinking ahead to March. The 21 Day Fix sale is going to end, and I don't think they're going to continue it in March. So if you've had anyone that's interested, that's a great follow-up of being like, hey, just wanted you to know it's only on sale for 2 more weeks, things like that. So kind of really laser focus on what you want the end of the month to be. You guys can all hit Success Club. I have no doubt in my mind that you can do that if you really, really want it. So kind of laser focus in. And if you need help on what your post should be, let me know. Like, just shoot me a message or an email and we can kind of brainstorm a little bit. But do that, and then go into March being like, okay, the first half of the month, I am going to focus on challenge groups, and kind of intersperse those things into my posts, whether it's like, here's a recipe that I shared in my challenge group, and then it's like, hint, hint, if you sign up for a challenge group, you get cool recipes. Or here's something I love about it, or whatever. So then when you post your challenge group invite ad, people have already seen it a couple times and are like familiar with what it is that you're talking about. So like for instance, tonight when I get off this call, I'm going to post an invitation to my coaching sneak peek that I've already been inviting people to. But this last week, all of my posts, I've incorporated at least once a day something about coaching that I've liked, whether that's like, my son has had extra doctor's appointments because of all his ear infections, and it's been such a blessing because our insurance doesn't cover those ones to like not have to worry about the money there. So I can phrase it that way. Like I'm not making tons of money, but it's been enough that it's like a stress that I don't have to deal with right now. Or I can talk about what is it like? I did one the other night of like, what does this actually look like? And it was me sitting on my sweats on our couch and like, this is my office. After Caleb goes to bed, I sit down for 2 hours and I get my posts ready for my team and my groups. And it's totally doable if you want to do it, to kind of draw that curtain back a little bit. So then tomorrow or tonight when I post that challenge group or that invite ad, people have already kind of seen those things a little bit. So I'll do the same thing with challenge groups as soon as March starts and talk about that for a couple days. And then boom, here's an invite for you. And then midway through March, I'll flip that switch and talk more about coaching because that's what I want my focus to be on. It's the last half of the month is recruiting coaches. Is that Ellie?
Yeah.
Is there anything else that would be helpful for you guys going into this week in the last 3 minutes that we have of kind of helping you guys hit Success Club or conversations that you're having with people? No?
Well, I think it helped a lot what we already talked about.
Okay. I just, like, if your guys are like me, I can totally get stuff in my head. And last week, honestly, I was super bummed. I was just like, there is crickets. Like, there is nobody who is interested in anything. I'll just keep posting, but like, I don't know if I'm even going to get Success Club this month. And then I did this week. And so I think sometimes it can be so easy to be like, oh my gosh, it's the 16th. Like, I don't even know. Get that out of your head. And it's easier said than done, but just be consistent and be you and be genuine and then invite people to join you in that. And just keep doing that. And it pays off. You just have to kind of commit to that consistency for sure. So, and reach out if you guys are struggling. And then, yeah, do post in the page if you do that, like, avatar script of, like, here's Ashley's ideal customer. Post that in there so we can all kind of share and learn from that together.
Abby, how many hours a day do you spend doing Beachbody stuff?
Yeah, my life's a little crazy. So I honestly probably, on average, spend maybe 2 hours a day. So it's not a ton.
Because it seems like you do so much stuff, and I'm like,
yeah. On the weekends, I'll do more. So kind of, and I work full time, so it's a little bit different. But really, like in the mornings, I'll do my workout, and then I'll post in the morning, and I'll schedule, like I'll have my group post that morning. In the afternoon on my lunch break, if I have time, I'll follow up with people who like message me or whatever. But then in the evening, after Caleb goes to bed, really from like 8:30 or 9 until like 10, I'll just work the business. And so that would either be like inviting, it might be watching some like YouTube tutorial videos or a lot of like the team calls that I'll miss. I can never be on the Dream Team weekly calls live, which I would recommend to all of you because they're super helpful. So I will listen to those like when I'm in the shower or working out, I'll just have it on, or if I'm driving or folding laundry. And then on the weekends, when I have more time because I'm home, when Caleb naps, I will try really hard to get all my chores done in the morning so that when he naps, I can spend that time doing stuff that like I wouldn't have time to do otherwise, like a blog or things like that. So, does that help?
Yeah.
Yeah, you get the hang of it. We're going to get cut off here in a second, so I will let you guys go. But if you have anything else you want to know about it, just post in the group, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Have a good night, guys.
You too.
Bye.